All right, Shalom, Salakia. Video cut off, man. But you know, it is what it is. We'll just jump back into it, you know, where we left off. Back into, I jumped into Galatians 2 through the Spirit. Okay, to edify, you know, get a quick example, because you get the you know, different groups, like, you know, these wacky-tacky Christians, you know, which go so far off on the other hand to tell you that, you know, there's a sacrifice, so really you could do whatever you want. You could eat all kind of unclean meats, you know, do whatever, man, and you'll be saved as long as you believe, and that's not the case. Okay, they're completely, you know, voiding out the works and concentrating only on that grace. Okay, when there's a balance, okay, we got to understand that, you know, we're in the time of grace, but what proves your faith is the works, man. Okay, which you know, a lot of these, you know, if you're a heathen, man, of the flesh, then this thing was never for you anyway. You were never invited. Okay, it's only for the elect of Israel, okay, which have been scattered abroad. So yes, you have many of them living as heathens. Okay, that was the whole thing with YHWH coming, you know, telling the Galatians, you know, a lot of these Galatians, they grew up living as a Galatian, living as a heathen. Okay, but like I said, the first verse, it's dedicated to the scattered Israelites. You know, a lot of us, man, we were being raised believing that we were different things, different nationalities, you know, calling yourself a you know, an African, you know, which is a land that's named after a so-called white man. All right, or calling yourself an American, which is also named after a so-called white man. Calling yourself, you know, in my case, a Chicano, which isn't even a damn nationality, man. Trying to run away from the name Spanish, because we knew we weren't no goddamn Spaniards. All right, and also trying to flee from the name Mexican, because that's a new speak name. And then they call themselves Chicanos, but we understand through the Spirit, man, who the 12 tribes of Israel are, with the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. And many of us have been brought up, you know, in all sorts of different ways of life. You know, you have Israelites who are even living in India, all right, scattered all over, and growing up as an Indian, growing up as a heathen, all right. So a lot of them, you know, weren't born and been circumcised. Okay, so you had all these other Israelites jumping on them, you know, proclaiming YHWH, but then at the same time telling them they need to get circumcised. You need to do this, you need to do that. Well, it's a balance of faith, man. You just came into this thing. Okay, you wash off that old man. It's not, this isn't a thing of the flesh, man. It's a spiritual circumcision. All right, but anyway, to get that example of the Christians, man, the wacky-tacky Christians, and you know, you got Israelites that believe in the same stuff too. This is Galatians 2:18. It says, we'll get 17 actually. It says, but if while we seek to be justified by Hamashiach, ourselves are found sinners. So yeah, we seek to be justified by YHWH Hamashiach, because we know we can't be perfect in the flesh. It says, is therefore Hamashiach the minister of sin? God forbid. Right. So then, you know, what they'll make him is the minister of sin. Like I said, they'll be saying, oh, go ahead and go get a tattoo. You've been forgiven. That law is done away with. No, not according to the scripture, man. You know, if you're an Israelite and you're having a kid, you know, you're a new man. You're a new man, okay? And you understand that the circumcision is something that should be done, so you should get your kid circumcised, man, according to the law. But that doesn't mean you go around, you start taking steps backwards. Oh, well, I didn't do this when I in my youth, so I need to do that now. No, man, you're living that new life now, okay? Like the book said, the circumcision profiteth nothing, okay? Going on, verse 18, and this is just to get the balance, okay, the right balance that you need to have. Okay, there's a balance in all things, and you need to be, you know, to have faith, but yet, is your faith proved by the works, man? Verse 18, you got to strive to be perfect, but you understand you ain't gonna be perfect. You could uproot your own soul, man, by trying to be perfect sometimes. Okay, you fall short, you know, you stop going to camp because you feel bad, you know, whatever the case might be. But going on, verse 18, it says, for if I build again the things which I have destroyed, I make myself a transgressor. There you go. So that's what, you know, a lot of people will go off track and tell you, oh, go ahead and do this and that, and you're okay, you're forgiven. But, you know, we ain't gonna be perfect, man, until the kingdom. And so let's go ahead and jump back into Hebrews, where we had left off. Breaking down how in the kingdom there will be perfection, man. Hebrews chapter 8 and verse 7. I'll just jump back to verse 7 since that video cut off. For brothers who may not have seen it. It says, for if that first covenant had been faultless, then should no place have been sought for the second. Right, there would have been no second covenant if we would have been able to be perfect in the flesh. All right, but we know that we can't be perfect in the flesh, man. That's why we needed YHWH. That's why we need that second covenant. Okay, there was that original covenant made. We broke it, so there was a divorce. Okay, then there was the rebinding of the covenant through the blood of YHWH. Okay, and only the elect are going to be able to get on this, be the first fruits of this thing, man. Eventually, all of Israel will be delivered, and that's what we're going to get as we continue. It says, for finding fault with them, with who? With the Israelites. Okay, it says, he saith, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel. So this new covenant is only for the house of Israel. All right, it says, and the house of Judah. So the 12 tribes of Israel. All right, the northern and the southern kingdom. It says, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers, because that was broken. It says, in the day when I took them by the hand to lead them out of the land of Egypt, because they counted not, or Salakia, they continued not in my covenant, and I regarded them not, saith Yahweh. Okay, because we broke that covenant. Okay, it says, for this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel. Okay, and it'll come into that full effect in the kingdom. Okay, when we're going to be able to walk perfect within it. Okay, it says, after those days, saith Yahweh, I will put my laws into their mind and write them in their hearts. Now, does this mean they're written in your mind and your hearts right now? You could be perfect. It says, and I will be to them a God, and they shall be to me a people. All right, because according to those same wacky-tacky Christians, they'll tell you that we're in this right now. That as you go on, we're in that new covenant, that new contract was made, but we're not in the perfection yet. Okay, because as you go on, it says verse 11, and they shall not teach every man his neighbor. So what are we doing out on the highways and the byways then if everybody knows Yahweh Shem Yahushai? It says, and every man his brother, saying, know the Lord, for all shall know me. And not all knows him at this point, man. Only the elect understand this. Only the elect know him. Only the elect are under this new covenant, man. Those first fruits, okay? According to the scripture, the first fruits. It says, for all shall know me, from the least unto the greatest. And it takes a sacrifice. It takes blood in order to be under this contract, okay? And the elect, their toll was paid by the blood of YHWH, but the remaining, their toll, the 2/3, their toll is going to be paid by their own blood. Okay, let's go ahead and jump to Isaiah real quick for a quick example of this. This is Isaiah 4 and verse 4. It says, when the Lord shall wash away the filth of the daughters of Zion and have purged the blood of Jerusalem. So it's talking about the same time, and when we're in this perfection. Okay, there would have been that the blood washed away. Okay, the sins washed away. Okay, and it's going to tell you how. It says, and have purged the blood of the daughters of Jerusalem, Salakia, of Jerusalem, from the midst thereof, by the spirit of judgment and the spirit of burning. Okay, by that nuclear holocaust that's coming. Okay, that's how your toll is going to be paid. Some are baptized by the Spirit and by water, and some are going to be baptized by fire. Okay, according to the book of Matthew. Let's go ahead and jump back down to verse 12. It says, for I will be merciful unto their unrighteousness, and their sins and their iniquities will I remember no more. In that he saith, a new covenant he hath made. The first is old, now that which decayeth and waxeth old is ready to vanish away. Yeah, it's ready to vanish away, man. All right. So, being under this new contract, we understand that there's a proper, we're in a time of grace, okay, which gives you that forgiveness, which fills in the voidness of your wickedness, but at the same time strive to be perfect, man. We understand that there has to be works in order for there to be faith. Okay, there has to be faith in order for there to be works. All right, you can't just have one or the other. Okay, so a lot of these Israelites, man, they go out all far on the law, But, you know, that's being carnal too. That's being of the flesh. Okay, now let's go ahead and jump back where we left off, Galatians chapter 5. And let's see, verse 6. It says, for in YHWH HaMashiach neither circumcision availeth anything. Right, circumcision don't do a goddamn thing, man. Okay, because it's a spiritual circumcision, a circumcision of the heart, if you will, a circumcision of the mind. And it says, nor circumcision, but faith which worketh by love. Right, so you know, it's getting, so you have a so-called Christian will tattoo this on his arm probably. Bet you there's a lot of people who got this verse tattooed on them. But as you go on, you know, it'll break down the balance. Okay, verse 7, ye did run well, who did hinder you that ye should not obey the truth? So he's talking to the Galatians. You were running well, you were doing good, man, you were fighting, you were striving, but then people started hindering you. You need to do this, you need to go back and you need to get circumcised. It's a spiritual circumcision. Okay, this isn't just all of the flesh, man. You can't be perfect in the flesh. Okay, talking about you gotta wear fringes, you know, which you know, there's nothing wrong with wearing fringes, man. You gotta try. Okay, but that doesn't mean every single piece of clothing you put on has to have fringes on it, man. We'll understand we're in the time of this new covenant. Okay, verse 9, a little leaven leaveneth the whole lump. Okay, so a little leaven leaveneth the whole lump. Okay, so they start taking in these different doctrines, these different things. Oh, we got to be perfect. You just got to do the circumcision. A little leaven leaveneth the whole lump, man. You're gonna be consumed. All right, just by taking in these little things. All right, verse 10. You know, you end up having to work on a Sabbath. You know, so you feel terrible. You don't go to camp the next day. You know, you start, you know, falling apart. You know, a little leaven leaveneth the whole lump, man. You can't be perfect. Verse 10, it says, I have confidence in you through the Master, that you will be none other wise-minded, but he that troubleth you shall bear his judgment, whosoever he be. Right, these Israelites that were, you know, were known Hebrews. Okay, they grew up in the Hebrew. They grew up in the synagogues. Okay, so, you know, by default they were circumcised. They were circumcised in their youth. So then they started jumping on these Israelites, you know, who were living in Galatia, telling, hey man, you need to get circumcised. But you know, like I said, man, it's a spiritual thing. Like it said, it's a spiritual thing. Like the Spirit said. All right. Going on, verse 11. And I, brethren, if I yet preach circumcision, why do I suffer persecution? Then is the offense of the cross ceased. Right, the offense of the cross ceased. There was no purpose for there to be a cross. There was no purpose for there to be crucifixion. Right, verse 12. I would they were even cut off which trouble you, man. That's cold, you know. So Paul's going all the way to the point that's saying those that are doing this, telling you got to be circumcised, jumping on you for having a shirt with fringes. You know, you're at work wearing a shirt, some nigga jumps on you, talking about you need to be wearing some fringes. Okay, it says that Paul, it was in Paul's opinion, he said that these dudes should be cut completely off. Okay, verse 13. For brethren, ye have been called unto liberty. Only use not a liberty for an occasion to the flesh. Okay, so it's showing you that balance. You've been called to liberty. We've been made free, man. Free from bondage. Free from these debts. Okay, our past lives have been washed away, man. And from here on out, we're walking in the Spirit. Okay, that doesn't mean go back into the flesh, build up those things that we destroyed. All right. So it says, use not a liberty for an occasion to the flesh. Oh, we've been forgiven. So you could eat this pork sandwich. We'll just eat pork sandwich on Sundays, okay? No. What's going on? But by love serve one another. What's love mean? Obedience in YHWH. Verse 14. For all the law is fulfilled in one word, even this, thou shalt love thy neighbor and as thyself. Right, if you're gonna love thy neighbor as yourself, are you gonna be fucking his wife? You gonna be sowing enmity? All right, you gonna steal his things? No, man. You with that love, all things will end up being fulfilled, because it's gonna cause you to follow that law. It's gonna cause you to follow the law to the best of your ability. Okay, It says, it's like I told my my son the other day, man. You know, I was like, look, there's a piece of you inside of this you know, this other individual, man. There's a piece of you inside of him. So if you're gonna be doing things to him that you don't want done, you know what kind of man are you? You know, would you like those things to be done to you? Of course not. You know, and you don't know who's who, man. That's where we judge off the spirit. You don't just go jumping and attacking everybody. Not everybody's a nigga, man. Not everybody's an Edomite. Okay, let the spirit bear witness and take it from there. All right. It says, verse 15, but if ye bite and devour one another, take heed ye be not consumed one of another. Let me go ahead and jump forward from here, just for you know, time's sake, and I want to jump up to let's see, verse 12 of chapter 6. Okay, and it says, as many as desire to make a fair show in the flesh, right, making a fair show in the flesh, meaning to be perfect in the flesh, walking up, chest bumped out, got the Hebrew Israelite garment, head to toe, wearing some hat with Baphomet star on it, you know, gonulants on, you know, shirt has a picture of YHWH on there, or the description of him anyway. 12 tribes written on your shirt. You got the 12 stones on there and everything. Okay, looking all perfect and done up in the flesh. It says they constrain you to be circumcised. Right, these same niggas will say, hey, you gotta be circumcised. You gotta be perfect in the flesh. You gotta be circumcised in the flesh. No, you gotta be circumcised in the spirit, man. In the spirit, your garment should be looking that way. All right, and we're gonna be rewarded in the flesh, man. We're going to be rewarded physically. We've been rewarded spiritually by this understanding. We're going to be rewarded physically. All right, by YHWH. Okay? It says, only lest they should suffer persecution for the cross of Hamashiach. Right, they ain't suffering no goddamn persecution, man. Being greeted up in the streets. I just saw a video. Oh, man, you know what? I'm going to pull it up. All right? This IUIC, this madness, man. All these different people looking at him like, whoa, damn, what's going on here? Looking all proud in the flesh, man. Putting a show on. To me, it looked like a goddamn parade. Okay, the way they're singing, walking down the street, man. Let me see if I can find this real quick through the spirit. Yeah, here it is. Yep, here it is, right here. Yep, you see that goddamn running down the street, screaming chants, and I'm pretty sure I heard them screaming about the black man. You know, just completely of the flesh, man. But continuing, verse 13. All right, they had all their Hebrew Israelite costumes on, looking like a Hebrew Israelite superhero. Verse 13, it says, for neither they themselves who are circumcised keep the law, but desire to have you circumcised. So a lot of these dudes, they'll be circumcised in the flesh, but yet they'll be jumping on you to keeping the law and be circumcised, but they don't even follow the goddamn law, man. They don't even keep the law. Be going off on Sunday eating some pork sandwich, fucking niggas' wives, looking your wife all up and down when she turns around. All right, that's why it's better, you know, just to stay in the spirit, man. You know, don't be bringing your wives around each other all the time. You know, we're all men, all right. And you know, I feel I could trust my woman with any of the brothers, man. But I'm not gonna put them in that predicament where I need to try to trust her. You know what I mean? When I need to try to trust the brothers. You know, don't need to be putting tests out there, man. This is the thing of the spirit. It says that they may glory in your flesh. I got a Yerah, or whatever the case is, whatever the brother's name is, to circumcise his flesh. Look at him, he's getting a circumcision. Look, he just got a water baptism, man. These are all things of the flesh, okay? Those are spiritual things to represent you spiritually being washed, man. You spiritually being circumcision. All right, verse 14, it says, but Yahweh forbid that I should glory, save in the cross of our Master YHWH HaMashiach, by whom the world is crucified unto me, and I unto the world. So Lord willing, this is edifying. All right, so lucky for the cut in between videos. Just had to upload them part 1 and 2 or something, you know, and you know, Lord willing, this to give brothers a proper understanding, man, because you know you got all these Israelites talking about the law. That's all you hear from them, man, is the law. But there's a deeper understanding, man. This is of the Spirit, okay, and the elect are gonna understand it, man. So Lord willing, the elect are edified. To those that are offended, man, let them be cut up, man. Let them be filleted, all right. Let them be cut off. Just like Paul had said, man. All right. Call halal Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai by Hashem Rakah Quadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles at GMS Great Millstone. All right, and peace, love, and salutations to the elect. Shalom.